New South Wales news today. Sydney train commuters face more disruptions as more than 300 rail staff stay home amid industrial action. More than 300 Sydney train workers have stayed home, and hundreds of services have been cancelled as industrial action causes chaos on the city's rail network. The NSW government said 310 train workers have not reported to their shift so far this morning, and 322 train services had been cancelled by lunchtime. However, authorities are warning absenteeism may impact other shifts throughout the day, and commuters need to allow for extra travel time. Sydney Trains Chief Executive Matt Longland said about 90% of services were operating normally, but warned the situation remained unpredictable. Mr. Longland mentioned there were minor delays on the Central Coast through to Gosford due to an unrelated incident, and delays on the Hunter line between Maitland and Newcastle. Other lines are holding up well at this stage, but again we may well see delays increase as the afternoon progresses. It is a ghost town at Parramatta Station, with train delays still impacting the few commuters who have to use the Sydney rail network today. Transport Minister John Graham told the ABC that while services would be running to the timetable, there will still be some delays and cancellations. He urged parents to find alternative travel options for children heading to school this morning. Particularly for kids of school age, we're encouraging parents to find a different way to get them to school to move them around the city. That's to make sure that they do make it to their final destination, Mr. Graham said. We're encouraging people to continue to check the apps and will regularly update after. NSW Premier Chris Minns said the government cannot give in to the union's blackmail despite ongoing disruptions to the train network. If we were to hand over a blank check, if we were to continue endless negotiations or even pay heed and accept the latest harebrained idea from the union, it would mean more industrial disruptions, he said at a press conference on Monday. It might be in 3 months or 6 months or 12 months, but it would only embolden them, and you'd have more disruptions on our railways, more disruptions for public transport in New South Wales. The Premier said paying rail workers to strike would only lead to further industrial action. The idea that the New South Wales government would pay workers to go on strike would only lead to one conclusion, and that is more strikes, he said. If at the end of the day, you can get pay for taking industrial action, that will mean more industrial action on the public transport network. Mr. Min said some claims made by the RTVU were outrageous, and the government had to draw a line in the sand. A Fair Work Commission meeting is scheduled for Wednesday. We are hopeful that the Commission steps in at this point and ends this circus. But we'll have a Plan B and Plan C, the Premier said. We're on the side of commuters here. It comes after the NSW government lost its latest bid at the Fair Work Commission on Sunday to stop industrial action by the rail, tram and bus union. The government accused the union of a coordinated effort to cripple the network and its members of using sick leave inappropriately, arguing that the no-shows amounted to unprotected industrial action and were hence unlawful. However, the Commission found there was no evidence that Friday's actions were coordinated by the RTBU,